Chief Casto, how did you learn that you'd be first acting chief and then interim chief? Who contacted you and what was your reaction?
For the first call I got was from the city manager, Georgianne White, and I was just asking, are you willing to do this? And of course the answer is yes. I mean, I'm pretty dutiful. This department's pretty much given me everything that I have. It's been good to me over my entire career since I was, younger than 18. So the answer was yes, anything I can do to help.
And was it always a goal to be in a leadership role?
No, not at all. No. Actually, throughout my career, I never really looked for the next promotion. When an opportunity would arise, I'd take it. But that's one of my beliefs as a leadership tenet is if you're always looking for the next rank or the next promotion, it's hard to make good decisions at the rank that you are.
How do you handle the fallout from the transition from Paco Valderrama to you? How do you, I know there was issues with trust from the union. How do you kind of build back that relationship with the union, with the officers moving forward?
I think it's not just about me, and that's kind of probably a common theme during our conversation today. It's not just about me. This department has a chief, whether it's Chief Valderrama or myself. We're the face, we're the final decision maker. The final responsibility rests on our shoulders, but this is a team effort. I have 3 other deputy chiefs that are amazing. Mark Salazar, who has a brilliant mind when it comes to violent crime. You've got Mike Landon, who is a great decision maker and calm in the eye of the storm. And you have Burke Farrah, a great educator, very smart, experienced, and always looking forward to the future. So in essence, the leadership team here is still intact. I may have elevated, Chief Valderrama may be gone, but the same people are making the good decisions. Ultimately, it's my responsibility for how things go in this department.
When the public sees the news, when it makes national news for the wrong reasons, how do you say, hey, we're still here, you can still trust us to do the job?
I think we just keep doing the job. When this was going on, it was pretty distracting, and I just kept telling people, even I ran into Mayor Dyer, there's plenty of work to do. This is a distraction, but there's work to do, and this community doesn't deserve anything less than us focusing on getting the job done, of protecting them and serving the community as best we can.
Well, what is the biggest thing that you think the department needs to improve upon?
Our service levels. We are fantastic at responding to emergencies. Our response time citywide averages well under 8 minutes. That's pretty good if you look at other cities in particular. But some of our non-emergency calls, like a prior burglary in which the suspect's no longer on scene, or an auto theft, those can hold for, I think the last average I looked at was about 181 minutes. So we need some service improvements on the non-emergency side of things.
How do you balance the traffic operations, increasing that because that's what the public wants, versus all the other things that Fresno police do?
Like you mentioned, the balance. Once in a while we have an operation which we involve other special units. We do that on a regular basis. So we try to balance, their normal focus may be violent crime, but on occasion we can focus them over towards traffic. And just not ever letting any one get too far ahead of the other. So we have a finite number of resources.
What do you want to do before you leave, you retire?
The hardest part has been watching over the last couple of years when this profession's been demonized. I'm not Pollyanna. I don't think every police officer is perfect, and not every decision or action that officers take is ideal. But man, the vast majority of officers are really out there trying to do a good job, and they're doing it under difficult conditions, without all of the information, under split seconds. And it was really sad to see what happened to the profession over the last couple of years. But I think there were some good things that came out of it. We had to look at ourselves and do things a little bit different. There were improvements that could be made. I think they have been. I think we're well on the way to healing that rift between the public and police, at least in this community. I mean, this community, I want to be clear, is amazing support for our department. I never take that for granted because I don't think it's quite like this in other large cities.
And what are your goals before you leave police work?
Before I leave police work, gosh, that's a good question, David. I don't know if I'm going to have a good answer because it's so broad. Obviously, we're doing well right now. I want to keep us moving in the right direction, and I want to make sure that that we just don't head in the wrong direction. We don't want to go extreme one way or the other. And I think that's something I'd have to sit down and make notes and really do some soul searching. What do I exactly want to see? This job is so busy on a day-to-day basis. You're making just so many decisions, and in the end, is it steering this department in a positive direction or a negative direction? And overall, you just want it to be positive as you work through those daily problems.